Okay, when you are trimming forms that have a narrow top, so something like a bottleneck or perhaps a vase, you need to use a chuck. And a chuck is a bisque-fired piece that kind of has this shape. You can use either side depending on your form, and you can throw your own chucks. They come in different sizes. So I'm going to stick this into the chuck. So now I need to center the chuck and the pot. So you can see where the pot hits and misses my finger, and I need to adjust the pot, but I may find that I have to actually adjust the chuck as well. So it takes a little bit more time to get it where you want it. So just little tiny adjustments until you get it centered. Once you're centered, you're going to need fresh clay because you have to secure the chuck to the wheel and you have to secure the pot to the chuck. So I'm kind of making like a little lug of clay. I'm going to use water on this lug of clay, and then I'm going to stick it. If you don't use the water, it doesn't create a really good seal, and the little lugs of clay can come off of the form, or the form can move. So I'll use 4 of them on the chuck at equal distances, and then I'm going to do the same thing by securing the bottleneck form to the chuck. And it's important that your form that you're going to trim is truly leather hard, because if your clay is sticky or soft, the lugs will get stuck and then they will be really hard to remove and they can wreck your pot. You want to be truly leather hard anyway, otherwise your clay is really sticky. Okay, so I'm trying to angle the photo so you can actually see them. There we go. And that is what it should look like to hold your form. Again, I'm going to be working with my black trimming tool. I have my loop and ribbons, and I have my little cup of water. Sometimes I will dip the tool in the water, and that helps it kind of glide across the surface. Otherwise, sometimes you get like a really bad kind of chalkboard noise and it catches. So with a bottleneck, you really rarely, if ever, would want to do a traditional foot or ring where you bring the form in, like on a bowl or let's say a mug. Doesn't really match the flow of the rest of the form. So what I'm doing is just kind of taking some weight out of the walls and flattening the bottom really nicely. I'm not applying heavy pressure. When a form is in a chuck, it's a little bit more precarious, and so you'll often see me kind of cradling the pot with one hand and then trimming with the other. I keep my elbows anchored into my body, and this just kind of keeps the pot stable, and just in case something lets go, I can catch the pot. So I'll just switch tools to kind of show you. It's the same process using that sharp edge. I just tend to favor my black trimming tool over the loop. I'm just kind of softening that edge so it curves a little bit instead of being straight and sharp, which could scratch a surface. And you can see that I'm choked up on the tool, so my hands are right up against the part of the tool that actually trims the pot. I'm not holding onto it loosely. And then I come in and usually refine with my ribbon tool because it lets me have control over small areas. And this ribbon tool is pretty sharp, so sometimes it catches. I can come back in and fix that. And so now I've got a pot that has a nice smooth flat bottom and a rounded edge, and I've taken some weight out, and I would call this finished.